Hello there, grade 5. This video will show you how to simplify ratios. Okay, just to take note, simplifying ratios is basically just the same as simplifying fractions. Okay, because this ratio can also be written as a fraction as 12 over 32. Okay, and knowing your past lessons, we know that simplifying fractions, we use the method as factor tree. For factor tree, you need to be knowledgeable about factors. Ano nga ba ang factors? What do you mean by factors first? Yan muna ang pag-usapan natin. Factors. For example, factors of 16. Factors of 16 is 16 multiplied by 1. This is a pair of, this is one factor of 16. Another factor of 16 is 4 times 4. Another factor of 16 is 8 times 2. Okay? So, yan ang ibig sabihin natin ng factors. Basically, a number or two numbers which you are going to multiply will give you the answer. Okay? So, yan ang ibig sabihin natin sa factors. Okay. So, going back, paano nga ba ang factor tree? This is actually very easy if you have mastered your multiplication table. If not, then you are going to have a hard time doing this. So, if I were you, in which I always remind you to, please memorize the multiplication table. Okay, factor 3. So, for example, you now have 12 and 32. So, you just need to write 12 and 32 here. Then, draw this parang like roots, no? Give a factor for 12. Okay, knowing that we have a factor, actually, madaming factors ang 12. 12 and 1. Actually, ang 12 and 1, you can no longer use a factor, okay? Doing this simplifying method, you should not be using a factor of a number where it has 1 unless if it's the only one left. Okay? Kaklaruin ko lang. For example, 12 can still be factored out as 4 and 3 or 6 and 2. Depende na yan. No matter what factor you're going to use, pair of factors that you're going to use, you will still end up with the same answer. Okay. And try to factor out the remaining. For example, for 3 times 1, ang 3 pala, sorry, I already said the factor. 3 times 1. Technically, you don't need to write 3 and 1 anymore. Else, if you're going to do so, you will basically be writing 3 and 1 forever, for the rest of your life. And that's senseless. Just to satisfy you, you can leave 1. Okay na yan. Ganyan na lang. Although you're not supposed to, pero sige lang. It's fine. Then next is to factor out 4 further. In this case, you have 2 times 2. Okay, hindi na natin gagawin yung 2 and 1, 2 and 1. Okay? Basically, pwede, pero yun na nga. It's understood na yun na yung last. Okay? Ngayon naman sa 32, try to find a factor for 32. So, you should, like what I've said earlier, you should know your multiplication table here. Kasi kung hindi, you will really be stuck up in this process. Okay? Again, I'm reminding you to please memorize. Ang daming oras, you have a lot of time. Aside from other subjects, ang dami niyong oras pa. Okay? Please lang. This will really, you are the one who is going to benefit from from memorizing the multiplication table. Okay? So, thank you. Anyway, sa 32. Factor of 32, we can have 4 and 8. Further factor 4, we have 2 and 2. For 8, we have 2 and 4. We still have 4, which is 2 and 2. Note that 2 can no longer be factored out. That's why we just leave it that way. Yung sa 3 kanina, technically ganun na yun. It's just that this is just to show you lang kasi. Okay, para maipakita ko lang sa inyo. Okay, what you're supposed to do here. Okay, so ano nga bang gagawin natin ngayon? So for 12, i-highlight ko ngayon with a different color. For 12, the main roots are 2, 2, and 3. Kasi nga, technically you don't include 1. Although pwede, pero understood na yun. No need. For 32 naman, the main roots are different color din para mas makita nyo, are 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Okay, Teacher Mark, how about ang 4? No, 4 cannot be the main root because 4 was further factored out. Okay, klaro ba yun? How about ang 8, teacher? The same thing. 8 cannot be the main root because it was further factored out. Get it? Okay. Now, all you have to do is to collect all the roots according to yung sa ratio nila. Ganyan na lang. For 12, you can write it in fraction form muna. Ganito. 12 over 32. So, let's say 12 over 32. Write an equal sign and a long division symbol. Okay, we have, all you have to do now is to write the factors of 12 in a multiplication sentence. So we have 2, 2, 3. So that's 2 times 2 times 3. Sa 32 naman, we have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Ano ang gagawin natin dito ngayon? Okay. What do we do here? In mathematics, if there are same values in the numerator, which is in this case, and in the denominator, which is in this case, you can actually cancel them out. So for example, for 2, for this 2, you can cancel any of the 2's on the denominator. So, syempre, why should you go far if you can just cancel this 2 here? Diba? And you still have another 2 here. So, cancel nyo rin tong value dito. Teacher Mark, can we cancel this 2 as well? Because since these are 2, can you also cancel this 2 over here? No. Because once you're going to make use of 1, okay? Once you're going to make use of 1 digit to cancel out, it has already been canceled. Which means it's already no longer there. Okay, wala na siya doon. That's why hindi nyo pwede siyang i-cancel. Okay? Now, that is basically what happens there. So, ibig sabihin, just to erase the unnecessary markings, yan. Again ha, ni-cancel na natin to, this one and this one. What is left is 3 for our numerator. And we have 3 of 2's here. So that's 2 times 2 times 2. All you have to do is to multiply it. 2 times 2 will give you 4. And times 2 will give you 8. Which means our denominator here is 8. Then, to write it as your final answer, of course, like what I've said earlier, that a ratio can be written in fraction form. So therefore, a fraction form can also be written as a ratio form. So which means 3 over 8 can also be written as 3:8. Okay? So that's how you simplify. Now, there are cases you might ask, no? Teacher Mark, what if this number was cancelled out? Okay. I'll give you an example for that. Let's say we have 6 and 18. Okay, 6 and 18 ang example natin. 6 and 18. So, again, factor out na lang natin using the factor 3. We have 3 and 2. 3 times 2. Dito naman, we have 3 times 6. And this 6 can still be factored out as 3 times 2. Okay. Now, all you have to do is to take the roots of each number. Just to take note, 3 can no longer be factored out na. Okay? Unless you have 3 times 1. Yun lang yung maiwan. Okay. So, for 6, we have 3 and 2. And for 18, we have 3, 3, and 2. Yan ang mga main roots nila. So, basically, what you're doing here is you're taking the main roots. So, we have 6 and 18. Again, susulatin lang natin sila in in fraction form rather. Why? So that you will be able to see all the roots. So we have 3 and 2 here. We have 3, 3, and 2 here. Okay. Dito na yung ngayon yung concern natin kanina. Like what I've asked you, what if no number will be left? So for example, 3 and 3, kakancel ko na yan. Teacher Mark, can I still cancel this? No. Hindi pwede because this 3 is no longer there kasi you already canceled it out. Diba? Then you have this 2. Wala na. And if you notice in our numerator, you don't have any numbers left. If you don't have any number left, all you have to do here is just to write 1. If there are no numbers left, just write 1. Okay, kahit no matter what the situation is, as long as there are no numbers left, write 1. And obviously, for the denominator, we have 3 left. So, yan lang. Sulatin nyo lang yan. Then again, that's not your final answer because since we're talking about ratio, this fraction form should be written in ratio form, which is 1:3. That's basically it. You have 3 numbers there sa inyo. There are numbers na, there are examples in the ratio to simplify in which there are 3 numbers in a ratio. Do the same thing. All you have to do is to align everything. Ganun lang yun. Okay? So, that's basically it. Okay, I'll just give you an example na lang pala. So, for example, if you have 3 digits, for example, you have 4:8:6. The same thing, look for their factors or using the factor tree. Factor them out. For 4, you have 2 times 2. For 8, you have 2 times 4, in which 4 can still be factored out. So, ibig sabihin, wala na to. 6 can be factored out as 2 and 3. Okay. So, if you notice, kukunin lang natin yung roots kada isang number. We have 2 and 2. For 8, you have 2, 2, and 2. And for 6, you have 2 and 3. Ngayon, since there are 3 numbers, so hindi mo sila ma-express as fraction, although it's possible, pero that will give us a different meaning na yun. Okay. So, 4, 8, and 6. So, natin na natin this way. 4, 8, and 6. And we can just write their factors. We have 2 and 2. For 8, we have 2, 2, and 2. And for 6, you have 2 and 3. Okay. Now, the rule here. You cannot cancel just between 2 numbers. Okay, you have to cancel all throughout 3 numbers. Example, what are you trying to say, Teacher Mark? Example, if I cancel 2 and 2, I should include the other number. Okay? Ganyan dapat. So, assuming lang, example lang, I now have a times 3 here. Example lang. I cannot cancel this. No, that's wrong. It cannot be. Because there should also be a times 3 there on top. Okay, there should be a common number between each. Okay, kaya klaro ko lang ha. Example lang yung kanina. Okay, again, to make it clear, tanggalin ko lang to. Obviously, we can cancel better. Straight line. Yan. 2, 2, and 2. Can you still cancel other numbers? Teacher Mark, can I cancel this? No. Hindi pwede because there should be an additional 2 there. Diyan sa last number natin for you to be able to cancel out. But since there's none, so hindi pwede. Okay, klaro ba yun? And now what's left here, if you notice, for our 4, you have 2 left. For our 8, you have 2 and 2 left. So that's 2 times 2, which will give you 4. And for our 6, we just have 6 left. So all you have to do now is to express it in ratio form. So that's 2. Oops, sorry. 3 pala, sorry. Okay. So that's 2:4:3. So which means 4:8:6. The simplest form is 2:4:3. That's it.